Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Gary Ryan, bringing you the This Week with the Black Bears daily report for Monday, February 6th. I am here in my truck, so you'll have to excuse the background noise. That's the refrigeration unit running and picking up loads of chicken right now, so it's got to be kept cold. All right. All right, we got a lot to get to. We're going to start with as much as we can say about the continuing saga about the Vermilion County Bobcats in the SPHL. The Bobcats, as we know them, are no more. It looks like it's going to be done. However, we are not certain how the SPHL is going to handle the situation. There's been rumors about creating a travel team. There's also been rumors about just having a dispersal draft. There's been rumors about the SPHL trying to take over the team and run the team for the remainder of the year. At this point, we don't know. A lot of questions, and yeah, there's something on my glasses there. Anyway, a lot of questions and very few answers. If you missed it yesterday, the Bobcats were supposed to host a game against the Quad City Storm. Quad City traveled there. The Bobcats had already cleared out their lockers a couple of hours earlier and had left. There's a lot going on that cannot be said at this point due to potential legal ramifications. It's an ugly situation. And so anyway, yeah, so the team had already left. So yeah, the Quad City came out for the warm-ups. No Vermilion County. Quad City went back to their locker room, came back out for lining up and national anthem. No Vermilion County Bobcats. There's a couple hundred fans there. Finally, the referees say, okay, it's done. Actually, the phone rang in the penalty box, which was Commissioner Doug Price saying, yeah, it's done. So, but there is almost no word from the SPHL offices on this. There is going to be a Board of Governors meeting, obviously, to discuss what to do, where to go from here, all that kind of stuff. But even as far as when that meeting is, no clue. SPHL has said almost nil on this whole thing. So it's a really bizarre, strange situation. Moving on from there. Speaking of tying in the SPHL to the Binghamton Black Bears, goaltender Jeremy Fourier, I had a cup of tea here a few weeks ago. He was waived by the Macon Mayhem. So right now Fourier is jobless. Now, he is listed on the Black Bears inactive roster. We already have 3 goaltenders in the fold, so somebody is going to have to get cut. I would think it would probably be Fourier, but who knows? Stranger things have happened. So at this point, we're going to just say, okay, we'll go on from here. Speaking of goalies in the FPHL, trying to figure out how this has flown under Don Kiernan's radar, the Port Huron Prowlers still have 4 goaltenders on their roster. Since Chris Paulin signed, they have Paulin, they have Wyatt Hofflin, they have Danik Rodriguez, and they have Joe Noonan, all listed on the active roster. Not sure how they're able to do that, but regardless, this is going to be a very interesting week because by next Monday, all teams in the Fed have to be down to 22 on their active roster. So there's going to be a lot of transactions this week, a lot of movement, and So we're going to keep an eye on things. Speaking of movement on the transaction front, just got word that Chris Corrigan was released by Delaware. Now, he was not put on waivers. He was released. Usually, that means that is at the player's request. I do not know if that is the case for sure or not, but Chris Corrigan was arguably Delaware's best centerman. So there's another hole to fill, and unfortunately, the continuing drama in Delaware continues. Okay, a little bit more pertaining to the Black Bears again. I just had an exchange with Tyler Gjurich. He is having an MRI done. He's not even really sure the scope of the damage, and that's what the MRI is for, is to find out exactly where he goes from here. As he shared with me, he said this is the first injury he has received in his pro career. So this is brand new territory for him. And yeah, if you go back and go on like Hockey DB, look up Tyler Gjurich, you'll see every year he's played 54 games, 55 games, 56 games. So he doesn't miss time. So this is his first significant injury that he's facing. So obviously, he's hoping for the best. We'll wait and see. Does he make the trip out to Michigan? He hasn't even looked that far ahead yet. He's just wanting to get to the MRI at this point and get more information. Can't blame him. I separated I dislocated my shoulder once years ago, not sports related, and that's a lot of pain. It's easy to bounce back from time-wise, but it's a lot of pain and discomfort. So that's that. All right. FPHL to Trenton. I mentioned that yesterday. Are they going to field a team in Trenton? That is speculation. I still have not found anything anywhere on the web that would suggest that there is any ounce of traction to this. Really, there's just nothing out there as far as, Trenton's in talks with the FPHL or vice versa. So, again, it's been assumed that Delaware is probably going to be leaving the Fed at the end of this year and going to greener pastures. At least they think it's greener pastures. But, again, nothing has been set in stone. Nothing is definite. So that's just out there as maybe as a possibility. So we have to wait and see what goes on there. Last thing I want to cover today is I wanted to give you some numbers as far as players that are listed on the Black Bears that are currently playing in the SPHL in regards to how they're doing. There's four of them. Jesse Anderson has been playing in Macon. Now, he was scratched yesterday. He was a healthy scratch. So far in 9 contests, he has put up 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points. So not too bad there. Jamie Bussell, who has been playing, he's got 13 games now with the Huntsville Havoc. I did not realize that he had been up that long, but yeah, it has been. He's got 4 goals, 2 assists, and 6 points. So averaging roughly about a half a point a game. And not too bad. Michael Mercurio, still up with Quad City. He's got 2 goals and an assist in 15 contests. And Mark Compagne, who most recently was with the Vermilion County Bobcats, although he only ended up playing 5 games with them this year. No points. He was a -7 in those 5 contests. So I'm really not sure what his status is right now. But those are the 4 players that are inactive currently on the Black Bears roster. And we will see what happens with them going forward. Again, depending on what the SPHL decides to do in regards to the whole Bobcat situation that could potentially create a logjam of players being fed into other rosters. Some may go to the ECHL, some will go to different teams in the SPHL, some may go to the Fed, or if the travel team idea sticks and that ends up being what happens, well, then you field a roving Bobcats team with whatever roster they have left, plus maybe a couple other pickups. So again, very fluid situation. We're not going to know more until at least tomorrow. So I'm not going to really go much farther with that here. All right, that is all I have for you for today. Again, we'll hopefully have more information, if not Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, as far as Gjurich, whether he travels with a team. There's also a possibility that he might travel not as a player, but as an assistant coach, because remember, he is player/assistant coach on the Black Bears roster. So we will see what happens. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to hit like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, so every time I have a little bit of information to give you, you can find out about it. And always remember that the This Week with Black Bears podcasts are on Spotify. Go to the Google Play Store, download Spotify. It is a free app, free to use. And once you have it downloaded, you go to Spotify, search for This Week with the Black Bears, and that's me, and giving you as much as I can give you as far as the latest for the Binghamton Black Bears and everything going around in the Fed. Oh yeah, and if you didn't catch the other videos from Sunday, yes, Daniel Amesbury is back this week. Forgot to mention that. So yes, he is going to be suiting up presumably on Thursday as the Hat Tricks travel to Watertown to take on the Wolves. So we will see what happens with that. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Gary Ryan. This has been the This Week Daily. We'll catch up with you tomorrow.